Hey guys, Mike here. Today we're looking at the HotLogic Mini, and this is the version of it that uses a 12-volt wall plug. Now, the reason I bought this is because I am always on the road and I need a way to heat my food up. And I didn't want to just sneak into a bunch of gas stations and use the microwave all the time. So I bought this. I actually keep it at work. I don't have a microwave at work. So what I do is I put my meal prep stuff in here or whatever food I'm going to make, and I plug it in and I wait and it will heat it up automatically for me. And it holds it at a good temperature until I'm ready to eat. So what I'm going to do in this video is give you guys a demo of how this works, and I'm actually going to make a recipe in it. So we're going to do half a cup of minute rice, 1 can of broccoli and cheese soup, and we'll add half a can of water on top of that. And now we're just going to stir this up a little bit. And I like to add in chicken breast tenderloins, but you could also do this with just chicken breast. So I'm going to add in 2 of these, and I'm actually just going to push them down to like kind of bury them. And then I just want to add some salt and a little bit of pepper. And then I'm just going to add some extra broccoli on top of this. Now I think that looks good. And then I'm going to put a lid on it. Now I'm going to put this in the HotLogic, but let's talk about the HotLogic for a second. This thing is 8.75 inches by 6.75 inches by 2.5 inches tall. So this thing does not take up a big footprint. So if you're going to, take this into the office or something and leave it on your desk, it's not going to take up much room. The bottom of this right here is where the heating element is. So this is compatible with like most flat bottom sealable containers. So it's going to include things like glass, plastic, Tupperware, metal, aluminum foil, and even cardboard. Personally, I just like to put my stuff in a glass container and cook it that way. But I mean, it's basically like having a mini portable kitchen. So we're going to add the meal in. And this thing has double zippers. So it's got a zipper on this side and a zipper on this side. So you could take the zipper from either side. You're going to finish closing the zipper. And this thing uses something called Smart Shelf technology. So as long as you have access to a plug, you can have a hot meal ready. So what I'm going to do is plug that in. And what it's going to do automatically, as soon as it's plugged in, is it's going to start cooking. So there's no buttons or bells or whistles or anything like that. It's just going to automatically start cooking. You can kind of think of it like a slow cooker, but I like to think of it like a personal chef that knows exactly how to cook my food and does it right every time. It just takes about 2 hours. But that's the cool thing. I mean, it is like a slow cooker. It's just going to cook your food over the course of 2 hours, and then it's going to hold it at a good temperature for 6 hours after that. So you don't have to like stand around, waiting for your oven to finish cooking, or you don't have to like stir some type of crock pot or anything, or you don't have to worry about like inconsistent heating in a microwave. All you have to do is just plug it in, and then it starts doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, in my opinion, I think this is the most simple design, and there's a lot of people that this will appeal to. But me personally, I like to, when you have to turn this off, the only way to do that is to find the cord and then unplug it. Me personally, I wish there was a switch. I wish there was an on and off switch right here so I could control it instead of going for the plug every time. So what I actually did was I bought a power strip that has a switch on it so I could turn it on and off through the power switch instead of actually on the HotLogic because it doesn't have one. So in my opinion, that's a drawback, even though they market it as a feature. So I'm going to come back to this in about 2 hours, and we're going to check on it and see if it's cooked. All right, so it's been about 2.5 hours, so I'm going to open this up, and then we'll check the temperature of the chicken. So it looks like this. So even though the chicken was supposed to get up to 165 degrees, it only got up to 154, so it's actually not safe to eat. So I probably wouldn't recommend cooking raw meats in here. I would probably use this to reheat food. Like if you do meal prep, you can use this to reheat your food. This was my first time making this recipe, so I'm kind of experimenting here. But normally when I use this, I just use it to reheat food that I meal prepped at home. That way I don't have to like sneak into gas stations while I'm working to heat up my food. I've actually cooked salmon and asparagus in these, and it turned out fine. But the way that I did that was I added water, and the water was like the medium that was used to cook it. But in this case, we're using rice and soup. So that's the reason it didn't actually cook the chicken. So you could probably cook chicken in this, just don't use soup and rice, use water or something that's like more liquid. Overall, I think it's an awesome alternative to use in a microwave, and I definitely use it all the time. Thanks for watching this video.